So David Raya is an interesting one because that it was an interesting signing, wasn't it? I mean, Aaron Ramsdale was one of Arsenal's key players last year. He made the PFA Team of the Year. Now, I don't think he's the world's greatest keeper, but he does make a difference to Arsenal. He did make a difference. He brought a bit of character, he brought something to Arsenal last year that made them a team that was competing for the title. Now, he has his reckless moments, but I think he eradicated a lot of those last season to become more reliable. So it was a surprise that they went for David Raya. Now, David Raya has been a very good Premier League keeper with Brentford. Good with his feet, very, very good ability. So, it's a big call by Arteta, and I'm not quite sure what prompted it because Ramsdale's not had a bad season. There hasn't been a catalogue of mistakes, but as Janusz said earlier, he's ruthless. And I think by doing that to Ramsdale, he sent a message to the whole of the team that if he can drop the keeper that was so key to his side last season, if he's prepared to be dropped, then anyone can be dropped. So maybe it's one of those messages, not just for Ramsdale, but also for the rest of the team, that nobody's safe.
Yeah, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, why postpone the inevitable, right? And it's funny because the ruthlessness is, as I mentioned, Pep, I mean, that's his mentor, and you can see it. And there's so many examples that the player that he brings, the way he plays, and one can understand that. But as Mark said, logic, I mean, here you are, international. At least you'd want your goalkeeper, if you're going to make that change, to work with the back four. Well, I don't know who was left. Maybe Ben White was maybe the only defender left in town. So logically, it doesn't make sense because you'd want your, David Raya to train with the back four or at least 2 or 3 players. But anyway, I think he saw that they were winning anyway. And ultimately, I think we always felt once we saw the signing that he's going to be a number one. So, cut this out and get the player that you truly want, that you feel your team will benefit. And, you couldn't really tell in this game because Everton didn't pose any problems. But I kind of noticed because obviously I kept on watching him regardless if he makes saves or not. I don't know if you saw that in the 3rd minute where he came out of the penalty area. Well, 10 yards, got the ball, had 3 teammates around him, but just kept on rolling the ball with his foot, looking for other options, his distribution. This is the next level. And Ramsdale doesn't have that. It doesn't mean that he's a bad goalkeeper, but you can see that he is a lot more mechanical. I don't want to say he's uncomfortable with the ball because that's not it, but that presence just isn't there. And when I say presence of everything, now we'll have to wait and see when there's some questions asked, but I truly believe that Arteta said, look, I'm going to have to make that decision sooner or later. Champions League's coming. Spurs are coming. Business end of the season is going to be here in front of us sooner rather than later. And for me, he's truly my number one in my head. And I think that's why he made that decision.